What's going on, world? It's your man Pat Caesar LLC, mobile mechanic and roadside services. Working out of the old Corolla today, man. I still got to work some bugs out on one of my trucks. The other truck is just sitting, and gas prices are low, but it still makes more financial sense to work out of the back of the car than to work out of my big old truck for smaller jobs. So right now I'm working on my homies 1998 Honda CR-V. Freaking love these things, man. I ain't worked on an LS. Not the LS that the V8 guys talk about, but the LS B18 B1 in a very long time. And this is going on. Let me try to set this camera down. I mean, I'm doing some belts. I gotta do the brakes. I just knocked out these belts. Gotta put this bracket back up, and I gotta put the power steering belt on next. I'm just tightening up the AC compressor belt and the alternator belt right now. But either way, just wanted to make a quick video because I've been back and forth on my inspiration to record amid this whole coronavirus thing. There's a couple things that I think that needs to be said though for the general public. A lot of people right now have lost their jobs, and the crazy thing is, I lost my first job. I think I was like 16 or 17 or something like that. And I had just quit school, and everybody thought I was crazy for quitting school and I'm gonna be a bum and all this, that, and the third. Now, I understand where that thought comes from, but I've always been a driven person, and I've always realized that school didn't necessarily teach you what you needed to learn about real life skills. So it became very apparent to me early on in life that I was gonna need to learn a trade. So I have not had a job in about 7 or 8 years. I have not had a job. Thank God. It has definitely had its challenging times, but right now there's people who don't have work and they have no marketable skills to be able to get them the additional work that they may need. You know, people got families to feed. I completely get it. So I'm not judging on somebody's misfortune. I'm just saying how I learned at a young age of getting fired. My first job, and I made a video about where the parking lot is of the job I got fired, is Winn-Dixie in Avon Park. And that was an eye-opening, life-changing experience for me. Very traumatizing at the time, but it got me to where I'm at today. Now, I'm not a millionaire. I'm not a billionaire. I don't have no crazy amounts of money, you know, that I can just say, oh, you know, I'm doing X, Y, and Z. You know, I'm not better than anybody else. I've just learned some things a lot earlier in life than other people have. One of those things is a useful skill right now, and that is living without a job. So one of my homies like, man, well, why ain't you been making videos, and you know, what's going on with you, and you know, all this stuff. I'm like, man, I'm working. I ain't working as much as I want to, but you know, I'm working, and I take what I can, and I use my marketable skills and my tools and my know-how to get a result, and that result is feeding my family. And it's tough. Some people are gonna be really devastated to find out that that place that they done dedicated their life to don't give a damn about them. And I've seen it firsthand with family members. I've seen it firsthand with family members' friends. I've seen it just firsthand. I've lived through it. That, you know, you give your life essentially to this company. They give you a little bit of compensation for that time you give them, your most important asset. Let me just put this on my head so I can knock this out at the same time. Sorry. So you give them essentially your life for a few pieces of paper that can buy barely anything that is taxed before you even get it. So yeah, the system is not necessarily made for you in that regard. And if you don't learn these types of skills early on in life, me and my dad were talking about this the other day. Did y'all know that, I didn't know this. I mean, I kind of knew it, but I didn't know it to the degree in which he spoke about it, that prior to like the 80s, they offered trades in schools. Like you could learn, you know how you have like wood shop class or, you know, computer science, like stuff that was actually skills that you could transfer into the real world. You think they do that anymore? System don't care about you, man. The system does not care about you. So what this video is about is one of those things that was a traumatizing experience for me at the time, which was getting fired. all these years later, you know, 20 years later, it's finally come to fruition where it made sense, and I'm glad that it actually happened. I was very bitter about that for a long time. And now, I mean, I've been realized it, but now that I keep talking to different people and talking to my neighbors and, you know, just people that staying at home, and my heart really goes out to them because, hey, I'm in the boat with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, my work is slowed down too, but at least I know that I can do something to make money, and I'm not afraid to talk to people. I'm not afraid to go out there and put myself on Front Street, which I often do. That's just the nature of who I am. And I think that it's more importantly now to learn how to have those types of skills. If you don't have them, you know, you could be in financial trouble. Most people are over leveraged, overworked, and underpaid. So I'm just putting it out there. So the other part to this video is about me doing my mechanic thing. Y'all see, you notice I am not in my tow truck right now, right? And you wonder why I'm not in it, because it's not financially feasible for me right now. I'm not in my truck. I'm not in my tow truck. I only get in those vehicles when I need to, and it sucks because I really like my tow truck. Like, I don't like all the problems that it has, but I really enjoy being inside of it. There we go. I really enjoy driving it, picking up cars. It's slow, and as ugly as it is a very fun vehicle, man. Like I said, I stated in another video, I always wanted one, but you know, and desperate times calls for desperate measures, or times of uncertainty calls for different measures. So amid those things, that's why I'm doing what I'm doing right now. I still know how to turn a wrench, and my primary business was based on turning wrenches. So I mean, you know, I'm out here. As long as people need help, I'm gonna be able to do it. So a word of inspiration for all you other business owners and people out there just trying to figure it out: we gonna make it. We are gonna be just fine. Use the skills that you've utilized throughout your life to do something right now that can be rewarded by some type of compensation. When I say compensation, I don't necessarily mean a monetary equivalent. Like, you don't necessarily need greenbacks or coins, dollars, Monero, currency. Money is not really money, but either way, you don't necessarily need that. Some people gonna need to switch out services, barter services. And I gotta watch out, because they man, listen, I'm not a Bible thumper by any means necessary, but the Bible does indicate a lot of these things is going on. It's gonna be things that are happening in the end time. And I'm not thinking the end time as meaning like the world is gonna stop as we know it, but I mean civilization may stop the progression as we know it. So, you know, great civilizations have fallen in the past, from Africa, from the Babylonians to the Romans, you know, and this is basically a modern day Rome. So we're pretty much on the same path. With that being said, use the skills that you got to be able to try to navigate your way through this time of uncertainty. I really want y'all to keep y'all heads up and know that, you know, life without a job is a little bit tough, but it is possible. So for the entrepreneurs that's still out there, that's still trying to make it, I salute y'all. I feel you. I understand. I'm going through the same things myself with constant slowdowns, people backing out, people ain't got the money. It's the same struggles that's been there, but now they kind of amplify because of this whole coronavirus thing. So I'm gonna get back to this car. Y'all keep y'all heads up, man. Keep grinding out there. If you at home right now, you ain't got nothing to do, your kids driving you crazy, go get you some education on something that you can do. Go get you a book. If you can't read because the kids are too loud, because when I get back home I already know what it is, get on that YouTube. You better go learn a skill is what I'm saying. They don't teach skills in school no more. School is technically shut down, and they're moving everything to online presences. Learn something new. Do something out of the ordinary to get a different result from what you've been getting, because Lord knows when this whole thing is going to be over. And even when it is, highly doubt it's going to be the same as it was before this. So I got to finish up this car. Appreciate it, T, for hooking me up. Let me knock this out. You guys got any questions, give me a shout. Y'all know where it's at. Leave me a comment down below. Like, share, subscribe. Holla at me at CesarAuto@yahoo.com or CesarAuto.com. And any automotive questions, comments, concerns, whatever, you know where I'm at. Till next time. Mi gente, vi pro mundo beneficio. Peace.